Hello, all you sexy people, and welcome back to more Hellblade. Last time we entered Hell, and we got a symbol from that door, so in order to open it, we're going to have to find that symbol somewhere else. I'm noticing a running theme in this game, and I have a bad feeling it's going to continue throughout the rest of this game. Yes, game, I understand. You already told us at the end of the last video. Align the ravens. Align the ravens. We get it. Honestly. How thick do you think I am? Wait. Maybe you think I'm very thick. Oh, we're not going there. I said I wasn't going to be a perv. We're not going there. As you can see, these puzzles are going to get a lot more complex. This one's not super complex by any means, but I assume they're going to get more complex. As of recording this video's commentary, this is as far as I've got in the game. So I'm not sure what happens after this video. Although by the time you guys see this, I'll have completed the game. So that ought to be a Dear Diary moment for me.
It's like crossing into another world that looks the same but feels different.
Well, this whole area feels otherworldly.
Where the forest itself is watching another game.
It's really nice looking and impressive at what an indie developer is able to do when they put their time and money into it. It's easily the best looking game of the 3 games from Ninja Theory that I've seen. Granted, I've found that all 3 of the games that I've played from this company have all looked pretty good for the times that they came out in. Unlike Heavenly Sword and The Imitation Devil May Cry, this game at least doesn't seem to do that red-blue stance thing that those other 2 games did. So that's good. I wasn't really a big fan of that gameplay style.
I hear something.
If you hear the song of Raven, follow it, and it will lead you to him.
Silence.
Be aware of his actions, and you can't always trust your eyes.
Well, especially in the world of illusion. We definitely don't want to trust our eyes. And with my eyesight, we definitely don't want to trust our eyes. Considering I see about 10% of what most of you who watch this will be able to see. So we go through that illusion gate, and it did take me a bit. I got turned around during this part. For the most part, when I get turned around, I like to go back to an area I already was, and then walk it again. There's one part in this video where I'm not going to be able to do that because we get some voice chatter that I do want to leave in, because it sounds like it's going to be important later on. I don't know for sure that it will be, but it sounds like it will be. Damn it, you creepy sounds, how dare you try to disturb me? I'm already disturbed by the fact that I'm not playing as an attractive lady character. Oh, I don't want to hate on Sanoa. She's done nothing to deserve that hate. Let's not do that.
Last winter, before the tragedy, she journeyed into the wilds of her native land, living off of berries, fruits, and rabbits. It's not uncommon, you see. We call such a person a Gelt. Some, like Truth, become Gelt in search of penance. Like Senua, to purge a curse.
So her trip through the woods, or the wild,
I'll forever change.
whatever they call it, that's going to be mentioned later on. I assume that's going to be important to her story. As you can tell, we're not getting a whole lot of main story cutscenes. It's not like Resident Evil or The Evil Within that have very direct stories. Well, the first Evil Within didn't, but that's not because the story wasn't direct. It's just because they didn't really tell a story. Everything was told through files, which is one of many reasons why that is a shitty game. Not to mention the gameplay and all sorts of other things I won't complain about. Because I've completed that game, damn, almost a year ago. Probably a month or two, it'll have been a year. Shit. Time flies. I do have a strange fascination with that game. On one hand, playing that game was one of the worst gaming experiences of my life, sadly not the worst. But on the other hand, I really find it interesting watching other people play that game, both struggling and playing the game well. Just continue walking this way. So we've got to use these illusion gates to tear down and build up paths so that we can move forward. Or in this case, get another one of these lore stones.
The Northmen say that Odin and his brothers killed Ymir, and that the world of men was formed from his corpse. They made his bones into stone, and his flesh into earth, and his blood into the salt sea. They set his skull to be the bowl of the sky, with his brains for clouds. Odin and his brothers caught the sparks flying from Muspel and made them into stars. And to protect the new world from the giants, they used Ymir's great curving eyebrows as walls.
We don't usually hear much about Odin's brothers. Usually we hear about Thor, either the Marvel version or the one in Stargate or the one in God of War 4. I'm guessing we're going to get more about him in the next God of War game. I really hope that cutscene that I cut from the end of my LP ends up being in the sequel, because otherwise I'm going to feel bad for cutting it. But it would have left a cliffhanger sequel baiting for the next game, and I didn't want any of that in my LP.
She can get up now. She can get up now. What's happening? She can get up now. How can she get up? It must be magic. Dark magic. A trick. Raven. Tricking her. Raven. How can she get up? Bait. It's him.
And they're talking about the god of illusion, the god we're going to face later on in this video.
It's not him. It's a trick. She's doing it on her own. He's not tricking her. It's magic. It's an illusion.
Interesting that they go from, oh, it's a trick, to, oh, she's doing it on her own. But again, these are voices in her head, so I assume these are parts of her. Or part of her psyche. But I don't know that for sure. For all I know, we're playing as a chick who's actually in a mental institution, and we're just going through some delusion she's having. I really hope that's not the case. Hopefully it's just a creative aspect of this character to give the player a reason for why we're hearing all these voices. Which is an interesting dynamic to both her character and the game. Somehow I ended up all the way back at the door, but I need a staircase so that we can move forward. This is a pretty nice looking game, especially for an indie developer. But even without it being an indie developer, it's a really nice looking game. So we got another symbol. It's going to take me a bit to find the right spot. That will probably be an issue throughout the rest of the game. I never got a confirmation on that one, though, so I wasn't entirely sure that I got it right. So I just had to walk for the door and hope that I got it right. Otherwise, there would have been another jump cut. But since there wasn't, then you know I got it right, and now seeing that big symbol in the door, we know we succeeded. Oh yeah. I'm coming for you! Val Robin or Baskin Robbins or Red Robin, whatever. Now I want ice cream and a hamburger. Damn it, game!
Fear, and we think of a shadow in the woods.
How dare you tease a fat man with ideas of food?
If only it were that simple.
You're a git!
Comes without warning. A deep and primal signal from within. A reminder that just because you cannot see the threat, it doesn't mean that it's not already here.
I don't know how much significance any of this dialogue has on the story. You'll see it here, but the voices in her head will play a part into gameplay. You can see this combat has a particular style to it. So anytime enemies are behind you, you're not going to see it unless you have some way of detecting that, and that's what the voices in your head will do. They'll let you know when somebody's behind you. And I try to dodge out of the way. I did it right there. Once I realized that there were enemies that could show up behind me, though, the controls started to confuse me. Not that they're bad controls, just I would get a bit confused when it comes to blocking and dodging for the most part. That's what really confuses me. I'm always bad about dodging and blocking. When it comes to fighting, I just want to attack more so than anything else. And I had to look around here in order to see where to go next. That's why the jump cut. So we got another one of those stones to pick up. And I do walk past it because I can't see it going from the way we were coming.
The Northmen say you must sacrifice in order to receive. They tell how the runes were revealed to Odin only in sacrifice. He hung himself from the world tree, and he stabbed himself with a spear, and he dedicated the sacrifice to himself. For 9 nights he hung on the tree without food or drink, and at last he saw the runes below him. He gave a cry and gathered them in his mind and learnt them. Then he fell from the tree.
That's kind of arrogant. That would be like me dedicating all of my videos to myself, which I actually do because they take a lot of effort to put together. What? You got a problem with me dedicating my own work to myself? I could always dedicate my videos to YouTubers I like. Jimmy Fails, Titan Gaming, Deranged Band,
Do you know what it's
Skeleton
like to leave
Crusader,
everything behind?
Balemore.
Your home.
If it makes you happy, I could do that, but I'd still rather dedicate them to myself.
Perhaps never to return. Senua does. Because when darkness speaks, it changes everything. Turning home into a foreign land and loved ones into strangers. Exile makes sense when you realize that you were never really home in the first place.
Who guarded the waters of wisdom which flow from the roots of the world tree. Odin wished to drink from this spring, but he had to pay a price. So he gouged out his own eye as offering to Mimir. He drank from the well and traded one way of seeing for another.
Well, how about that for him? Some of us don't have that option because some of us don't have one working eye, much less 2. Although technically my issues are the optic nerve, not the eyes themselves. Either way, I end up screwed. And not in the good way. I really like the sound design in this game. Even just this area with rain falling now. Sounds really good. Don't worry, we'll get more voices sooner or later. Unfortunately. It's very maddening. It took me a while to see this clear path to where we need to go next. We've still got a bit more running around this area to do. Who lit those fires anyways? That seems weird.
song. Balraven's song. It's over here.
So normally I edit out when I get lost, but we're about to see me stop for a bit because what they're going to talk about seems important.
It's magic. This reminds her of somewhere.
The forest.
Where? Which forest? Forest in the wilds.
The wilds.
She left the leaf. She went to the wilds a long time ago. Why did she go to the wilds?
She wanted to fight her own darkness. She thought she could beat her own darkness.
Did she beat her darkness?
No. It nearly killed her, but she tried.
Druth helped her.
If it wasn't for Druth, she'd be dead.
She calmed darkness. She wanted to marry Dillian. She came to beat her own darkness and marry Dillian. But it didn't work.
She thought her curse would affect him.
She thought her curse would spread to him. She thought she'd bring the darkness to him too. She nearly died.
She thought the curse made her tainted.
Druth helped her.
And she probably would bring the darkness to him. But we're not going to worry about that right now. So there's a woods, I guess it's called the Wild. And I guess she met that dude Druth there. He's the guy we're hearing the voice of every now and again. He's got all the lore. And he helped her. And they talk about her fighting her darkness. I don't exactly know what that is, but I guess we'll find out at some point. So that's a door we gotta unlock once we're ready. Which we will be shortly. So there's a lot going on in Sennoa's head. Hopefully it's not going to be something that's too debilitating. Although there is a sequel to this game. So I'm really hoping this game does not end in a cliffhanger.
The Northmen say that Odin has 2 ravens. Their names are Thought and Memory. And each day he sends them out to fly all across the world. Upon their return, they perch on his shoulders and tell him everything they have seen and heard. In this way, he learns of things far and wide, and for this reason, he is called the Raven God. Senua, like Odin, you must seek wisdom through thought and memory, if you are to succeed in your quest.
Awesome. I'm sure we'll keep that advice in mind. For now, we just got to keep moving forward. This seems like a bit of a walking simulator. This video doesn't seem quite as bad as last video. I could use a couple more combat encounters. But at least we didn't have a 3-minute rowing section. So we will need that door open, so we got to go back through that magic mirror in order to open up another path. I actually really like these illusion gates. They're a pretty interesting game mechanic, one that I don't think I've ever seen in a game before. I can't really complain about this game so far. This game has a lot of issues that I have with God of War 4, except this is a much shorter game. So I can put up with a lot of its flaws a lot more than in God of War 4, which is a much longer game. So we got another illusion gate to go through. And look what happens.
The ravens.
They've gone. They've gone.
No.
Half of them have gone. They've gone. Some are still there. But where? Some are still there.
No, ravens helping.
He's not helping.
It's a trick. Quiet. I can't think. Out in the wilds. in the cold winter woods. She no longer felt fit for this world. She almost gave in to the darkness.
But she didn't, and it took me a while to find the path that we need to go, and even on this run I had some problems. So we probably missed some dialogue, but there's nothing I could do. Clearly Senua has some issues. Hopefully throughout this game we'll help her work through some of them. I know nothing about how this game ends, nor the sequel. I hope we get a good end to the story. It's an interesting way of telling a story, though, just hearing everything through the voices in her head. There's going to be a jump cut at some point if we haven't hit it. There's one. It took me a while to find where we need to go. Go through this gate. And once we do that, that'll open up a bridge. Come on, Senua. We got progress to make. You can do it! I believe in you! I was going to make up a song about believing in Senua and her ability to balance, but what I came up with didn't really work. I blame Senua for that. It's all her fault. Least sexy female character I've ever played as in a game. No, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be hating on her. She ain't done nothing to deserve it, except ruin my song that you guys will not have heard. It is pretty sad that in these two videos I've not got to know this character very well at all. I like to get to know my main character. I don't like the main character being a mystery. It helps form a connection with that character, but for this game I just don't have it.
Where have they gone? She did it.
Then again, these same people wrote the Imitation Devil May Cry game story, so maybe I shouldn't be asking them to try to develop a character or a story. It'll probably turn out bad. Even Heavenly Sword's story was only passable.
The smallest hints of shape, sound, thought grew in strength until they consumed her whole. Before she knew it, the darkness had her in its claws.
So if we were playing as Jill Valentine or Rebecca Chambers or Claire Redfield or Ayame from Tenchu, Kidman from The Evil Within, hell, even Kendra from Dead Space, or Lara Croft, I would have a pervy comment to make right now. But we're not, so I'm not going to make it.
There is no such thing to the darkness. It's like it doesn't want to kill her. Yet, it will gnaw at her, biding its time.
It
Only
sounds
when
like a
she is
predator.
at her weakest will it strike to kill.
My God! What are we going to do?
Find Dillian before her time comes.
Keep pushing forward even though we had a vision showing that this was not going to work out well. I guess that's what we're doing. Open sesame! Oh yeah. So far I'm really enjoying this game. Yeah, it's a bit of a walking simulator, but it's got some really nice atmosphere. The illusion gates are pretty cool. The sound work is good. The combat is pretty fun, even though I struggle with it. It's done in a unique way. And I'm really glad that the game seems like it's going to be a short game. I already have an idea of how many videos this LP is going to be.
Final illusion to fear Sylvia's keep. I know you can do it, Senua. You have the sight.
We both see the darkness. We can fight it.
Not only do we have the benefit of the sight, but we also have the benefit of YouTube walkthroughs. So trust me, we gonna be alright. We're gonna make it through. So we have to align another symbol, and this one's going to be particularly annoying because we got a lot to do so. So first we got to come up here and go through this gate and see what happens. That'll open up a path for us to walk across.
Speak to me, Druth. Tell me a story.
Senua, listen. I will tell you the tale of a man called Findan. The Northmen captured Findan's sister, and his father sent him to pay for her release. But they took his gold, put him in chains, and held him for a day and a night without food or water. Then they released him. I don't know why. Upon his return, his father's enemies in Erin set fire to his home. His father burnt to death, and his brother was killed. But he escaped with sorrow in his heart. His father's enemies offered redress for his loss and invited him to a feast. It was at a hall near the sea. But when he went there, they betrayed him to the Northmen, who enslaved him and took him to hell. 6 years later, his slave masters landed on the shores of Orkney, burning all before them. And into that fire, Findan made his escape. What was Findan? Burnt away that day. But from the flames, a new man stepped forward, and Druth was born.
So that guy that keeps speaking to us, I guess that's his origin story.
And though Findan never set eyes on his dear sister again, I, Druth, have found you, Senua.
I wish you could have seen my home before these dark times.
I'm guessing this guy developed some sort of a bond with her. Maybe she reminded him of his sister. This part was really annoying for me because I thought all you would need to do is step through that gate in order to get rid of the bridge and create this next path we have to go through. Yet, for some reason, it would not work the way it should. This is the section I talked about earlier. There's going to be a balancing segment. You can die during it. Right here is where that happens. So be careful with that because I did experience a death once here. I'm not sure what I was doing wrong with that last illusion gate, but for whatever reason I had trouble with it. Kind of annoying, but what are you going to do? I've said it before, but I really like the atmosphere and the sound work in this area. I tend to repeat myself a lot, and I know that. Yes, I know, we gotta focus. Focus! We know!
Rokus, the gate is open. Open.
This darkness. I know it from the wilds. It's coming back for me.
I'm still here. Are you too? Where are we? I remember. It didn't end well in the wilds. It never does. You think you can overcome the darkness, make sense of it, and once relief settles in, it strikes out of nowhere, throwing you helplessly back into the maelstrom, drowning the mind in fear, deeper, deeper, dragging you down so far into the void that maybe this time there is no coming back. But there, in the darkness,
Senua,
and she remembered what he told her.
hear me. Reach out to me. Senua, take my iron mirror. Look into it, for it is a window into the underworld. Within you will see the face of the darkness that you fear. And if you focus, like I have taught you to, you will also see that as much as the darkness has you trapped within its veil, it too is trapped within yours. Focus. Focus! Focus!
I see you. I see you now. You led me to the wilds. You trapped me there.
That's right, and it's time for some payback! Even though we didn't know that about her until right now. So this is the God of Illusion. It is very unimpressive compared to the gods that we faced in the God of War series. Kronos was much more impressive, and he wasn't even a god, he was a titan. So this fight started off pretty well, but it's about to go south pretty quickly. See what I mean?
It's not over. It's not over.
Part of it is I just get confused when I want to block or dodge. Like I've mentioned before. That does create a problem for me. So now we can use focus in battle, which is really nice. And I don't mind these combat sections being in there, but I don't know why we're facing these enemies while facing this boss. Seems kind of annoying. This is a fight we could have had at some other point to break up all the walking. Oh god. And I like the idea of this like foggy marsh type place. Could have been a really cool area to have in the game. But I guess these enemies are just illusions being perpetrated by this thing. Get! Damn it! Don't tell me what to do, voices! Or at least tell me sooner, so that maybe I don't die. Something. Oh god. Damn it, you god of illusion! You are no Loki! Actually, I always found Loki to be very overrated. It is very white. Oh yeah? Is that what you think? I think you're gonna take a sword to the face or to the back. Whatever. Oh god. Hooray! I do kind of hate it when they say you won, and I think, oh, so it's over? No, there's still more. But I know they were just meaning you won against the one enemy. Shit. This is a problem. So that focus option, you do have to charge it. I'm not quite sure how you charge it. I'm guessing through either time or damage done to other enemies. Maybe dodges and blocks. I'm not sure. Yeah, you told me to focus at the wrong time, assholes. I'm blind here. I need any help from the game I can get. Stop talking trash. We got this. Promise. I can only guarantee that because this commentary is in post, but still, we got this. Come on, Sonoa, you can do it! I believe in you. You have a very nice personality! Damn you, God of Illusion!
The mirror. Focus is coming back.
Why do you have to be such a git? Time to open up a can of whoop ass! I say as I get hit. Damn it! Let's try it again. Time to open up a can of whoop ass! Well, at least I hit it that time. Whoop ass! Ha! Got it!
I never beat you in the wilds, did I? It was an illusion. But not this time!
The mark of Valravan, one of the keys to the gate to Helheim. Hold it in your mind's eye.
With every battle, the darkness grows stronger. Every victory bringing her closer to defeat. Unfair, isn't it? In those dark winter nights in the wilds, there were times when she considered letting go. If it weren't for Druth, a chance encounter in the wilds, she would not have heard his stories of the Northmen. And she would not have this chance to find Dillion's soul.
I'm coming. I still hear you.
Well, this area got a lot nicer looking. This part for some reason reminds me of Uncharted, particularly Uncharted 2 for some reason, but I'm not quite sure why. So, the best I can figure, she spent some time in woods called the Wilds. I guess she was sent there by that god of illusion and thought that she killed it, and she met that guy Druth.
When she was younger, she would lay in the grass and stare at the clouds. And there she saw them. Elusive. Shifting faces. After a while, she could see the faces everywhere. In the trees, the mountains, caves.
And I guess she met that guy Druth, who's the guy that keeps giving us lore. And now we're here. So I guess we're going to piece together her backstory throughout this game, which is a weird way of doing things. I'd like to know a lot more about our character.
Can you see the faces too?
Before this point.
They're there.
I think they're talking about a mechanic we're going to get where you can focus on some faces. Here's one right here.
Mother. Senua, you have the sight. Just like I do. Once you can see into the underworld and all the souls within it will see you. Don't be afraid when they speak to you. I will always be here to guide you.
Did you see her? That was her mother, Galena. She was a priestess, a healer. She taught Senua to see the weave that binds the world together. And it was beautiful. It was a time before the darkness. But when it did come, it first came for her mother. Senua still sees her face from time to time, hidden in the world. Like she's still watching over her. She misses her so much.
Well, who wouldn't miss their mother after a while? Although, I don't know why it took me so long to realize, but my brother pointed this out recently. All our lives, apparently our parents have been assholes. My father has literally stolen whiskey bottles from me before, from his own blind son. Kind of a dick move there. I was going to say earlier, but then the voices kept talking. Not all things that are beautiful are good. So you do have to keep that in mind. Take the devil, for example, if you believe in such an entity. He's always depicted as a demon with horns and everything. However, if such a creature exists, I know it would show up as a beautiful woman or something very beautiful to tempt people into darkness. So I don't like this aspect of the game. We had to walk all the way back. That wasn't too bad for you guys because of the editing, although I did have one jump cut.
They've surrounded you.
Yes, I figured that out. It's kind of annoying, but what are you going to do? I wish they gave you a quick path back to the main hall after each one of these. This is where the combat really starts to be a problem for me. Fortunately, we do have this focus. I have to remember to use it, because I do forget it a lot. I'm trying! Backseat gamers. And if we haven't already... Oh, great. Now we're censored. You know, I would like to be able to actually see what's going on the screen. So now we're introduced to an enemy with a shield. It's going to be really annoying. I think at this point I finally realized that this thing has a shield. The circle button is also an attack move. I'm not sure what exactly it does, but it will actually allow you to hit this thing even though it's got a shield up. I did not know that at this time. Damn it, monster, how dare you have a shield? I don't have a shield. I want a shield, damn it. You big oaf! I hate you! Sanoa, we're gonna need you to get some health back.
Get up quick.
These guys are going to be a major problem next video.
The gate. She needs to go back. She can't. It won't open. Why won't it open? Why won't it open?
We already know why it won't open, because we have to open up 2 of these things. So we'll go ahead and do the fire trial next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.